Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thank you for joining me. I'm Katie and, well, desperate times at the moment, isn't it? First of all, I just want to start off by saying a massive thank you to everyone who's subscribed. I just recently passed the 400 mark and that's a pretty cool milestone for me, so a massive thank you to everyone who's been with me from the start and who's just joined me now, and all of those in between, of course. So as you can see on screen, I am doing some swatcheroos of some rather interesting materials. So at the top of the page we have stamp pens, and we have a selection to work with here, including diamond shapes, eye shapes, planet, heart, stars, paw prints, lightning bolts and a really cute cat face. What I'm swatching now are some twistable crayons, and I believe they're going to be like your wax crayons in a twistable case. Never understood the point of them, but there we go. They don't swatch too badly. And then the absolute most wondrous thing that brought a whole flood of childhood memories back. The magic colour change pens. Oh my days, I had to get these. I shan't go in too deeply as to what colour turns into what, because you're going to see right now. And I must admit, I'm pretty impressed. These were really cheap materials that I bought from Primark. It's not a stationery shop, it's a clothing shop in the UK, and I think there's a few others dotted around the world. Hey, let me know in the comments if you have one where you live. They were £1.50 a tube, and I thought, yeah, these will be a fun challenge. And then when I'm done with them, and when all this is over, I can give these to my mate's child and everyone will be happy, or I'll keep playing with them myself. So you might think I'm cheating a little bit here, and maybe I am, but I wanted to make sure that the line work would stay put and be quite crisp. So I have used liner pens, and I do go back to using them a little bit later on, just to finish off. But let's talk about the subject matter, shall we? So I thought I'd base this drawing on the stamps that came with, well, the stamps really, and I noticed there was a really cute kitty cat stamp, so I thought, right, we're going to make a cosmic space cat. I know, I think I've been in too long. I wanted to include other elements from the stamps, so there are a few stars in there as well as a planet, and I quite like it. It's a little bit different to what I normally do. So I started off with the background first, and I'm using those colour change pens. Now, I really did try and blend them a little bit, but there's only so much you can do, and I believe they're probably water-based. Even with their colour change properties, they're not going to blend as easily as an alcohol marker. But hey, I'm not using professional materials here, so let's not have too high expectations as to how it turns out. They are quite streaky on the paper, and speaking of paper, I decided to use that miscellaneous paper that came in the Artful box. So even though I didn't enjoy the Artful box, I'm still going to make use of the supplies. So, did any of you guys have these pens growing up as a kid? Have you worked with them since as well? I'd like to hear in the comments what you think. And did you enjoy them? Do you remember as well the ones where you could write secret messages? You'd have that weird white pen that didn't do anything, and then you'd go over it with the coloured pen and your secret message would be revealed, or you could erase it. Can you remember those ones as well? So, since we've got two green colour options, I thought it would be pretty cool to try and add a bit of a gradient in the cat's eyes, which is easier said than done. And just to make it look like a bit more of a glass dome for the cat's space helmet, I filled that area in with blue as well. I added a funky little control panel, which I filled in with some colours, and obviously I'll be getting the magic pen on that at some point. I thought I'd make this flying saucer green, and obviously the rocket will be your usual rocket colours, because why not? For the planet, I thought I'd try and experiment a little bit here and use those red and orange tones to try and gauge some depth, but let's see how that goes when it comes to adding the white pen. And the stars are a lovely orange colour at the moment, but I'm hoping they're going to turn out to be a nice yellow colour. And for the cat, I thought I'd add a nice moon to his forehead because he is a cosmic space cat. And to make him extra lucky, I would colour him in black, and I do just leave that black. I think that's the only thing that I laid down, to just deliberately leave it as is. So it is looking pretty streaky right now, and I just decided to go over at least the background before adding the magic pen. And look, it's changing the colours. How awesome is that? I'm glad I did go over the background again. It just makes it that little bit more vibrant. It doesn't necessarily make it any more blended, but we'll just have to live with that. We're just going to have to cope. I did find it quite interesting that some of the colours that overlapped, they still reactivated in quite an interesting way, so it didn't disappoint me there. And what I decided to do was to add additional stars into the background, and I quite like the galaxy effect it's had, because when you paint or draw galaxies, you don't just chuck white stars on it, you've got all sorts of subtle hints of other colours in there too. I really like how the planet came out as well. I know it's a bit of a mishmash of a picture, but I still quite like it. It's quite whimsical, it's quite fun, and I think we all need a bit of a giggle at the moment. Now it's time to add, or try and add, some form of depth and a bit of blending with these wax crayons. And the first thing I noticed, and none of the others were like this out of the pack, was that the black one had got flecks of silver glitter in it, which I thought was a bit odd. I suppose that's quite nice if you're just colouring in and it's a bit of a surprise, but yeah, it was a bit random. But hey, these were £1.50 from Primark. I guess you kind of have to expect the unexpected. Now, they didn't massively show up on pre-coloured areas, but it did just help soften those edges I'd created with the coloured pens, so that's not too bad. And again, it just added a little bit of tone where the paper was white. So at this stage, I'm quite happy with how I've gone with this, and now it's just time to just reaffirm the outlines and go around with a slightly thicker liner pen. I really can't get my words out today. So obviously I'm going to get up to the stage now where I'm going to need to use the stamper pens. I was really looking forward to this. Again, this is another one of those materials I used as a kid growing up. It was like part of my key stationery selection for school, and every page of something would have a stamp of some sort on them. And it's kind of nice to see that these haven't changed much over the years. They're still pretty inconsistent with the stamping, but that was part of the fun. And I thought I'd just add those stamps to the Space Cat's spacesuit on the control panel, and a cute little heart for, you could say, a collar. Paw prints on the planet because it's a cat and they leave paw prints everywhere they can. Well, not all cats, but you know what I mean. And of course, the kitty face on his collar. And we're all done. I just want to say a massive thank you for watching, and if you've made it this far, I want to say thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't, why not hit that button? If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're all staying safe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!